Wake up, world. It's time for the William Malcolm Morning Show, where we encourage you to pursue your dreams and live a life filled with passion and purpose. So turn up your volume and prepare to be inspired. Now, here's your host, William Malcolm.
Good morning, America, Detroit City. It is a rainy Saturday, but I would rather have rain than have snow. We are in January, so I am blessed to be, I'd rather get an umbrella than a shovel. And I'm very excited because I have a good friend, no stranger to the show. Miss Stephanie Coney's in the building with London consulting firm. And family, you know how I like to always bring the experts in. I go out and I get the people that know about it, not about it. So you can say, hey, you didn't. So I brought her in because Miss Coney is an expert. She is in insurance and she loves insurance. I mean, loves it. She, you know, like I like cherry pie, she likes insurance. So introduce yourself. You don't have to because you know, but just reacquaint yourself to Detroit and America.
Hey, good morning, Detroit. It is so good to be here again, and it is no place like home, Detroit. And
if you recognize the voice, I'm sure you do. You know, for a while she would come in and have her own show. That's how much I would respect her. And she would bring her own guests. So right today she's on the other side of the big mic, but we're gonna get into it. So let's just talk about some of the things that you've been doing in the insurance industry.
Oh, man, this past 12 months, I have just taken time to get out in the community, meet small business owners, partner with nonprofits, and really just kind of getting reacclimated to, you know, this wonderful city of Detroit and just meeting people and then educating them about what I do along the way.
Now, we got to say, because they're probably saying, wait a minute, where did she go? So just talk about that. We got to back up a little bit. We got to do the prequel.
Right. So I've been here as of last week. It's been 12 months back in Detroit after being in Atlanta, Georgia for a few years, and started the company there, brought it back here, and my mission and passion has been to just grow this business and just get out here in the city of Detroit and let them know I'm here.
Absolutely. And one thing that I like about it is that you mentioned small businesses and you mentioned nonprofits, both things that are near and dear to my heart. And so what are some things, you know, because you're outside of being able to write small business owners insurance, you're also a small business person yourself. So what are some of the things that someone who's listening, who may have a small business, they need to think about as far as insuring themselves, protecting themselves? What's some of the things that they should think about and that you can help them with?
Well, you know what? I'm going to take a few excerpts from this presentation that I put together. And
okay, now. All right.
It's called Commercial Insurance. It's more than just a piece of paper.
Okay.
Because most small business owners, you know, if they're new, let me say new small business owners, to them, it probably is just a piece of paper because they're trying to move and shake and get the business up and running, and then you have the landlord saying, hey, we need this proof of insurance. And by the way, we need to be listed as additional insured.
Right.
And then you have the bank saying, oh, yeah, you qualify for these funds, but we need to have a proof of insurance. We need to have this piece of paper before you can close on this loan and get these monies and get this fund and get your business up and running. And so they're looking at it like this is just one more piece of paper. This is
just one more thing I have to do.
So much paper you have to
check
do
off to check off the list.
Exactly.
Right.
Checklist, business license, this fee, that fee, certificate of occupancy.
You talking, right?
You know?
You about to send me into it right now. I'm supposed to be enjoying, man. I'm supposed to be relaxed.
And so what I've done is put together this presentation and have a few, two to be exact, nonprofits that have allowed me to come in and speak to the small business owners who are up and coming about this piece of paper and let them know that without this piece of paper, you can get shut down before you even get up and running. And I'll give you a few examples.
Please.
One good example would be, let's say you just purchased a building, okay? You're a business owner and you own the building and you're getting it renovated to get your business up and running. Okay, well, somebody didn't come over and shovel the snow that day, okay? Somebody slips and falls. They give a call to a great attorney like Sam Bernstein, or somebody like that, and they decide they want to sue you because this person just sprained their back or leg or whatever the case may be because you were found negligent. You are liable for that. Okay, so that's the huge chunk of this piece of paper is liability insurance.
Right.
You are so much more susceptible to being sued and people coming after you once you become a small business owner. You are liable for a lot of things. If you're a restaurant owner, you're liable to make sure that food is fresh, that everything is good going out. Make sure that, nobody can come back and say, hey, I got salmonella or I got food poisoning, whatever. You just have to be ready.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you're focusing that. First of all, thank you for doing that. And you're focusing. I know you're focusing on new business owners. But I have to be honest with you. There are some people that have been in business for some time that still do not have proper liability insurance or just insurance, especially for people who may not own a building, may be a tenant. They may have a business, but they're a tenant in the building, or they have a home-based business, or they have a business that's online. And that's really where you need that online insurance, because if we all hear every year about the data breaches and things like that. So if you're collecting, I'm going into your stuff, but you know what I mean. If you're collecting those debit card and credit card numbers, you need that type of rider on your policy as well.
Yes, absolutely. You need that protection. And so you have some people who make it a career
yes.
of filing lawsuits against
do.
people. And it just may be your lucky day.
Right. Unlucky day.
Right.
So you know what? Let's back up a little bit. What's your website and how can they get in contact with you? Because we'll be dropping a lot of jewels today. So we want to make sure that they know how they can reach you.
Thank you so much. Yes, my website is www.londonconsultingfirm.com. And our phone number is 1-800-651-9142. We are currently located in Southfield, Michigan. I don't know how much longer we'll be there.
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're not going anywhere, are you?
Yes, we are looking to go ahead and be a part of this whole growth and just the whole new renaissance of the city of Detroit.
Oh, so you're staying local. Okay,
yes,
that's good. As long as you're not leaving.
No. We're not relocating anytime soon.
Okay, so great. So they can reach you. Did I cut you off for you? Because I got nervous when you said you were leaving. Did you get your phone number out?
Oh, let me give it again. 1-800-651-9142, and check out my website, www.londonconsultingfirm.com, and we're also on Facebook as the London Consulting Firm.
Okay, and so we were talking about the small businesses a little bit. Any other tips? So if someone is listening to you right now and they say, I don't even have that sheet of paper, I don't have half that sheet of paper, what is the first thing that they need to do or have together before they call you?
Very simple. How many employees do you have? We would go over what type of exposure,
type of business it is.
That your business, what type of risk we need to look at. We need to assess, do you need your personal contents covered and at what amount? We just need to sit down, have a consultation, and go from there. It's really simple, though. It's the stuff that you really handle on a day-to-day. Mm-hmm. You just have to probably put a little thought into it, like, how much equipment do I have? You know what I mean? But only you can answer that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, and so we have the small business covered. And just one thing that you talked about the other day that you're going to help me with. So outside of this, I'm actually a client. So Miss Coney has my whole family. She has my business. So on top of that, I'm not just having her on as a guest. I can speak to the level of professionalism. I've referred tons of people to her. She's written my family, everything. And so the one thing that I like that you just told me about the other day is that you're able to write nonprofit insurance. And that's something that I'm looking into. I was amazed that because every time I talk to you, you're getting more lines that you're able to write, more things you can take care of. And it's like, for me, I'm like the type of person, I will go and order the same thing over and over. I go to the same bank, even though I moved and don't live close, because I like, I do business with people I like. I do business with people that I trust. Yeah. And so for me, I can tell you from my personal experience in my family that I trust Miss Coney. So every time you get another line that I can just hand over to you, I don't have to worry about it, And so to talk about the nonprofit insurance you're able to write for anyone out here that is in that as well.
Absolutely. We're able to write the liability. Because a lot of nonprofits, depending on what they do, they have a lot of exposure.
Yes, they do.
You know, that cyber coverage, you know, the molestation, that's actually becoming something that I'm seeing more of, that landlords in some cases are requesting. You know, let's say if they're dealing with children, even child care centers, things like that. Just certain new issues are coming up.
Right.
Another one is terrorism. You know, honestly, because the world is changing, our needs are changing, and the way we need to protect our assets are changing. We're just more vulnerable to so many other risks.
And you know what, you brought that up. This is slightly off topic. The other day, you know, I have my mentor program, and I'm not going to say the school system because I don't want, but I was in it's a suburban school system in the Metro Detroit area. And I had to participate in my first lockdown drill. And so they had to make sure I had everything. You had to get but the students knew all about it. And I was thinking, you know, it's one of those things where I'm happy that they are having the drill, but it's one of those things that goes back to what you just said, that is something new. I never had to go through something like that when I was coming up. But it's just the thing that, and the students told me how I had to do it, you know. And so it's one of those things that are coming up, and unfortunately in our society, we have to stay abreast of it, and we have to be protected. So we're going to go to a quick break, and we go back. We're going to just talk about more about the business, how you can help people, and then a little bit of that new insurance, auto insurance is supposed to help us out in the summer.
Okay.
Northland Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is under new ownership, new management. The new Northland Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram remains a family-owned business and is considered to be the gold standard of auto dealerships. We are 100% committed to customer satisfaction and will do whatever we can to earn and retain your business. We are in the center of the Metro Detroit area, conveniently located on 8 Mile Road in Oak Park. Northland is the first and last place you will need to shop for a new or used car by Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. Visit NorthlandChryslerJeepDodge.com or call 248-398-8200 to learn more. When you're looking for a trusted, professional, and creative team using state-of-the-art technology to capture your precious life moments and events, choose the second-to-none company for videography and live multimedia services.
One Vision Media Group.
Call us today at 1-800-764-3110 or visit our website at onevisionmediagroup.com. That's the number 1, visionmediagroup.com. One Vision Media Group.
Our focus is on you.
We're in Boogie Wonderland. See how I did that? I tied that in. This is William Malcolm Morning Show, FM 92.7, AM 1500 every Saturday, WLQV Radio. I am here with Stephanie Coney of London Consulting Firm. And while we got this beat, let's ride it out a little bit. But let's talk about protecting your legacy. How can people protect their legacy, and what is that about? We hear a lot about that, but how can they do that?
Absolutely, through life insurance. But let me back up. That music.
I know, they get you pumped up this morning.
I'm like, hey, let me get another sip of this coffee.
Right, exactly. And I don't drink coffee, but, you know, it got me fired up, you know. And before we go further, in case you're joining us, this is Stephanie Coney. I call her the insurance lady. I mean, I know she probably don't like that, but she loves insurance. And so before we went to break, we were talking about some of the things she can do with small business owners. She can write nonprofits. I've talked about how she writes all of my family and family and friends and how I trust her 100%. So now she's going to talk about how you can protect your legacy.
Yes.
Or leave a legacy.
Yeah, through life insurance. And
now, how so? Because a lot of people, I understand life insurance, but break down life insurance for the person that really doesn't know. They may have a policy at work. That's it. And it's just a sheet of paper, like we were talking earlier.
Yep,
talk to them about how that sheet of paper can provide for their family.
That you just said it. That sheet of paper can provide for your family, and it's not for you, right? It's not for you. It is for your loved ones. Mm-hmm. You know, I can use myself as an example. You know, I'm a single parent, and if something were to happen to me prematurely, or you know later in life, regardless, we know it's going to happen.
Right.
and I hope it happens, before, my daughter, you know what I mean? And I want her to be well taken care of. There are things that I would want her to accomplish, whether I'm here or not.
Yes.
The show must go on.
Yes.
And even for other people maybe who don't have children, you have a spouse and you guys have created this debt together. You have this beautiful home and it's based off two incomes. What happens when and if the other person leaves? Because we all know that we're going to leave one day.
That's one of the few things we know that's going to happen. And you're absolutely right.
It's selfish to not have life
Right.
insurance.
There was a friend of mine who fairly young, in his 30s, and he passed away about a month ago. And the first question, I hadn't talked to him in a while, and I heard about it from another friend of mine. First question I said was, did he have life insurance? And he said no.
Oh, wow.
And he has 4 kids and a wife. Wow. So, you can just, you don't have time to grieve. Your family, the life that you have built and would want to build, and the dreams you want to have for them, a lot of that becomes in jeopardy. There's certain stressors that come up. You can't, like I said, you can't even grieve. And so, it's one of those things where I thought about it, and, it's one of those things where I said, man, I was wondering if it's something that I could have done to talk. You don't want to get in people's business, but I think we start getting in people's business, And so let me ask you, how can people bring up the conversation about life insurance? Because a lot of times people just don't want to talk about it.
You're right. And then when we talk about it, it's too late.
It's too late.
We have to stop the GoFundMe account epidemic, because you just said, you don't want to get in people's business, but you have to get in people's business. When you're setting up a GoFundMe account and you
now everybody's in your business, right?
You're
everybody
selling
at that point,
T-shirts and chicken dinners and they are in your business. They're in your pockets. They're in your business. All of
scrutiny and all of that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
But to have the conversation, we can maybe even start doing it in our house of worship. And I say that because a lot of pastors are doing free funerals. It's costing them.
Right.
They are the go-to in our community, the church, period.
Right.
Let's take race out of it. Just churches, period. You know what I mean? Churches do a lot for the communities that they,
Absolutely.
serve. And so we should start having those conversations then. And even with the giving aspect, there are a lot of people that when they pass, they don't just leave behind a legacy. They leave behind charitable donations to their favorite, charities and nonprofits and so forth. And perhaps we need to incorporate that in our legacy building as well.
Okay.
So if there are any churches who are interested in perhaps having the conversation with their parishioners and congregation, please feel free to reach out, and we can go further into that to delve not into just leaving something behind for the family, but perhaps leaving a percentage of that behind to the church.
Absolutely. Now, how can they reach you again?
1-800.
Because we are on Faith Talk, so we may have some people that want to contact you. So how can they reach you again?
You can reach me at 1-800-651-9142. And of course, please check out our website at www.londonconsultingfirm.com.
And the one thing that I like about life insurance with you is that, I think for a lot of people, they just don't understand how the numbers are arrived. So you hear the commercials on TV, on the radio, we can write a $500,000 policy for blah, 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 blah. So numbers are tossed out, but those numbers don't mean anything to the person. So I like with you, what you do is you sit down and you go through and you look at what debts are owed. If they want little Johnny to go to Michigan State or U of M, how much that's going to cost. If they want the house to be paid off. So when you come up with that number, that policy number, the cost, whatever that face value, 500, 200,000, 50, whatever, then that means something, because every number on that means something to that person, because you sat down and you've consulted that person and found what's important to them and what they want to leave. Am I saying everything correctly? I need to be on the payroll, because
I was just about to say that. What you doing Monday? 9 to 5.
No, but in all seriousness, it definitely, it's not just some arbitrary number that is just popped out of the
No.
blue that doesn't mean anything to those people.
It's not. And then that's when we begin to customize the plan because we're not brand loyal. We're loyal to the customers.
Now talk about the brand loyal piece, because talk about the difference between, and we're not going to say the names, but talk about the difference between some of the major or some of the big blue and yellow or white and red company insurance, and all good hands people and all of that type of stuff. You know, a lot of them do the sponsoring of the football and basketball games and all that. But people don't know you're paying for that in your policies. But talk about those type of companies versus what your company does, and then you can go into the multiple lines and companies that you represent. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, what differentiates me from everyone else is that my tagline, not your status quote.
I love that.
You
What does
know,
that mean?
Well, we have the ability to shop products with several carriers. I'm not a captive agent.
And what does captive mean? So
Captive means I don't just represent one company.
and you know, it's funny when you say that. When you say captive, I think somebody being restrained or handcuffed. So in that analogy, if you are with, you know, another company and it's a captive agent, all good hands people, okay, and your policy goes up through the roof, and you call them, what can they do for you at that point?
They can talk you into keeping your policy.
I'm not okay, and that's
raise
the
your
thing.
deductible.
Right,
You know what
to
I
play
mean?
around with the things to make it, cost
know.
affordable. But they're captive. They can't pivot to another carrier. And when we mean by carrier, we mean insurer, because that's all of these. That's all the the good hands people and the red and all those are just insurers. So you have the ability to pivot to other A+ rated, and you want to list some of them a little bit.
Sure.
Come on, brag a little bit.
Okay. We can jump ship if you need to. You know, I'm not loyal to any of those carriers. And carriers' rates go up. Let's just be honest. I mean, this is insurance. You know, at the end of the day, they are in business to make money.
To make money.
And so if your rate goes up, then we can shop it with another carrier. I represent several, just to name a few. Foremost, Safeco / Liberty Mutual, Progressive, MetLife, State Auto, Bristol West, Travelers, Liberty Mutual, Aflac.
So
We
the
can go
major,
on,
so
okay?
the
I could be
major,
here
the
for a
major,
minute.
right?
Okay,
right.
I don't mean to brag, but
we only have about. I give Brian my engineer, but I think we only have about 3 minutes. So we got to, we have 3 minutes. So we go to the site. But what we're saying is this:
that we're willing to add whoever we need to add. So that we can have our clients satisfied. Will I always be the cheapest? Maybe not. I don't want to be the cheapest, but I want to give you the most bang for your buck. I want to give you that value. I want to give you that personable experience that when you call me, I'm going to have an answer for you, and I'm going to call you back. That we're not your status quo, and that's what we do. We shop it around. I don't have to meet a certain quota every month from this company saying you need to sell this many umbrellas. You need to sell this many that. I sell what I need to. I sell what I want to. I sell
because
what
it's
I can.
your agency. It's not like you're working. And the one thing that you said, I don't remember what you said. You said they're in the business to make money. So I would have to say you're in the business of making relationships.
Absolutely,
That's
because
a
the
new
money will
tagline.
come.
Where is my bonus money?
We're going to talk after the show.
Talk after the show. No, but seriously, we have 2 minutes. Brian gave me the peace sign, so that's 2 minutes. So things are going fast, but so we're not going to have a little bit. To give us just a little the high level overview of some of the changes coming down for the auto insurance in Michigan this summer.
Oh yeah,
just the high level. We'll have you come back with the high level.
Effective July 1st this year, we will see some historical changes with insurance. We will see some rates dropping. However, they will not be dropping in the way that it has been presented, that people think that their insurance is just going to be sliced in half, like we're going to be another state like Ohio or North Carolina or something. Right. I'm sorry, people, but that is so untrue. That will not happen. What is going to happen is we will have more choices as far as our PIP is concerned.
Personal injury protection.
Our personal injury protection, which if you look at your policy, that is one of the hugest chunk. If you look at how the coverages are itemized and broken down and what you're paying for, that is a huge chunk because currently we have unlimited. We're one of probably the only state that has unlimited.
We're the only one.
Yeah,
right.
and so There will be some changes coming along the pipeline.
So can we promise to have you come back? I know you were moving and going downtown and bringing on new people and getting new insurers and all that, but can we have you come back on to help our guests, help our listeners?
It would be my pleasure.
All right. And so I think we're under a minute now. So just give your information out again. How can they reach you? All that good stuff.
1-800-651-9142. And the website is www.londonconsultingfirm.com. Our Facebook is The London Consulting Firm. And we're also on LinkedIn, The London Consulting Firm. All right. Thank you, Detroit. I love you. Thanks for having me.
And when you go on our page, check out the testimonials. This is William Malcolm. God bless. LondonConsultingFirm.com for all your insurance needs. God bless.